Dear fellow Toastmaster, if you believe in reincarnations, do you want to be reborn again as who you are now? Or do you prefer to be someone else's? If you asked me a year ago, my answer will be, damn, I will not miss a chance to be someone else who are richer, who are famous, slimmer, prettier, smarter. I wish I could be like Emma Stone or Emma Watson's or any other Emmas, you know? So, why do you think I prefer to be someone else? Let me take you a few years back. 27 years ago to be exact. I was born in Jakarta and my parents named me Fransiska. When my parents held me fresh from my mother's oven, and they were surprised to see this dark-skinned newborn baby. Well, both my parents are fair-skinned Chinese Indonesians. So they're confused. They were confused. Who is this baby? Are we getting like swapped at birth? Luckily, the upper parts of my face look like my father, and the rest of it belongs to my mother. So you can rule out the probability that I belong to a neighbor's child or I'm getting swapped at birth. Well, growing up, me not looking like a Chinese turned out to be a big issue among my family, especially my big family. I received a lot of comments from my auntie, from my uncle's life, from my cousins that, oh, you look like a local, you look like a pribumi. This is such a stark contrast to my cousins that most of them look like Roger Danuarta, or like Glenn Alinsky, or like Sandra Dewi. So you may have a question, Siska, why you make a big deal you looking like a pribumi, not like a Chinese? Well, if you remember the 1998 riot, there are many attacks towards Chinese Indonesians, particularly in Jakarta area. And my family members, my big family members, had the first-hand experience, their shops and their houses being robbed and being burned down. So after those incidents, they close off their relationship with the pribumi and they continue living with certain prejudice towards pribumi people. And this is very unfortunate indeed. But this prejudice may or may not impact my relationship with them. So, because imagine if you dislike pribumi and here you are, you have these family members that look like pribumi. So how do you feel? And the fact that I'm chubbier and also shorter than the rest of them makes me actually ashamed of every time when I mingle with them. And this also happens during my elementary and junior high school because my classmates, all of them are Chinese. And some of the kids, being immature at such age, they make fun of me. They call me names that sometimes are degrading and insulting. Fortunately, during my undergraduate study, God gave me opportunities and blessings to be friends with people from various socioeconomics, religious, and ethnicity backgrounds. This is such a wonderful blessing because when you are put in a heterogeneous environment, you looking different from the others doesn't really matter anymore. It's not a big deal. And I started to make jokes about me looking like pribumi, especially looking like Batak. Because when Batak people keep mistaking me and keep asking me, hey, what is your boru? I can say like, oh, I'm Hutagalu. Because they will think that, oh, I'm the cousin of Nadia Hutagalu. So I learned that in a very young age that humor is the best way to counter insult. And you know what? I even turned this pain into my gain. Once, I get a 50% discount from a shopkeeper that sells perfume when she thinks I'm Batak, just like her. So it's good for me. But what I didn't know, that these doubts about my appearance during my teens has been internalized within me. I may overcome the feeling of looking different from the rest of my family members, but I always feel inferior compared to others. Not only appearance, but also my personality and also my capability. And deep down, I always have the fear of people judging me, that I'll never be good enough. When school counselor asked me to write down your SWOT analysis, I can easily list down all of my weaknesses and things that I want to improve. Yet, it took me 1 hour to list down three things that I believe is my true strength. When people praise me, "Oh, Siska, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you are smart, you're sociable, you're easygoing," but none of this really touched my heart. It feels like there's a shield that bounces back all this positive appreciation and compliments. And then we arrive at 2017, just when I start entering my corporate world. I call it the year of storm and rainbow. My self-esteem hits rock bottom because I realized all along I actually live in a marvelous golden bird cage. And I learned the harsh truth that at some point, at some places, that you may not given the recognition and the appreciation as much as you expect, no matter how hard you work. And it reached to a point even my core team underappreciated what I did for the business. That my strategy is wrong and I should just stick to their old strategy because they think their strategy is the best one. So could you imagine, even your core team, your closest colleague, doesn't really have your back and doesn't really encourage you to think differently or do some breakthrough? And you know what I do? What I did? I believed them. That my strategy is wrong, that I'm the stupidest person on the planet. And then one day at a meeting, my president director, in front of the forum, mentioned that my strategy actually gives the highest result, and the team should take my strategy to make a greater benefits to the business. And you know what I did after the meeting? I cried. I bawled my eyes out. Suddenly I feel there's a marvelous rainbow dawn upon me, and birds chirping, "Hey Siska, you're actually not that stupid." And it's funny how it just took me one day of almost 20 years of self-doubt to realize I'm actually not bad. And it's also funny, no matter how people outside keep knocking on the shield of my heart and encourage me, I myself is the one who can let the shield to be broken. And now I begin to make amends with myself, try to accept all my strengths, my contradictions, and limitations. I know the journey ahead will be rough. There will be times that I'll feel marvelous and confident, and there will be days that I just want to crawl and disappear. But one thing I assure myself, I want to enjoy every step of it and learn from it. Because I know hardships that I encounter will polish me as a rough diamond that to shine brightly and to reach my full potentials. And if you ask me again the same question today right now, whether I want to be reborn again as someone else, I would say I choose Siska, who's standing here before you with every facts, every wounds, and every cells of it. Thank you so much.
Standing Feels like you have been a Toastmaster for ages.
Thank you.
That is the best speech I ever heard from you.